Hey, welcome back. I'm John Tobacco. You're watching Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. And, we try to bring on the guests that know where the rubber meets the road all the time. One of the slogans, Newsmax, by the way, is the fastest growing cable network in America. And one of the slogans that Newsmax goes by is real people, real talk. And the topic I'm about to talk about right now, I can guarantee you this. You will not see this on any other channel because the left-wing media does not want to talk about the true hate that is foisted upon most of America, at least half of America, for their Trump hatred, okay? Danny Sprague joins me now today, and by the way, before getting into this story, let me just tell you, Danny Sprague is a Staten Island, New Yorker. He's a decorated veteran retired from the NYPD. I talk about the NYPD and the attack on cops across the country all the time. But here's a regular guy, put his life on the line every single day to keep people safe, okay? Goes to celebrate his 50th birthday, right, with your wife, Danny, with his wife, down to Tennessee. And they're having a fine time. And he happens to be wearing this hat. So can we get a close-up on the hat? Okay, so we get the one shot on Danny's hat. The hat is a red hat. Okay, there it is. And it says, make 50 great again. 50. Great again. So, Danny, any person that can read can see that the hat says make 50 great again, right? So you weren't out there trying to provoke anyone. You didn't go to an Antifa protest and start waving around a Make America Great Again hat. That photo there, you have a big line of blood gushing down your face. I'm assuming the blood and the injury didn't come with the hat.
No, unfortunately not.
So tell us what happened here.
Well, like you said, I went down to Nashville and I was celebrating my 50th with my wife. She had a bunch of my friends and family all come and meet us and surprise us. And she had that, the hat given to me as, a nice play on words. I am a Trump supporter, and she just, thought I would love the hat. I put on the hat and walked around town, and it was a great day. A lot of reactions, and most of them positive, and everybody, really, excited about the hat and, wishing me happy birthday in passing. When we were in the bar then that night, we're all hanging out. Again, people coming up, taking pictures with me, congratulating me on the 50th, breaking my chops. And then all of a sudden, I'm spun around, and this female punches me in the face and grabs my hat and starts yelling, "How dare you?" We were hanging out by where the security was, and they were right on top of it, separated it fast, but they didn't see the initials, so they took me out one way, and they took her out the other way. When they noticed I was bleeding, they asked me what happened, and when I told them and I wanted to press charges, she was already gone. They let her out the front door.
So if you do me a favor, take off the lid because it's shading your eye there. Go to his one shot, okay? Here's a guy, regular guy, family man, served his community, served on the NYPD, celebrating his 50th birthday, has a red hat on, and if you can see, he's got quite the nice shiner, and it looks like kind of a hole in your face.
Yeah,
and
she definitely either had a large ring or she could have maybe had keys in her hand. Being with the NYPD, and you most likely going to wind up getting hit at some point, and you learn what a good punch is compared to a bad one. She had a nice solid punch, and either she's skilled with it or she had something in her hand.
Sorry to laugh at it, but you say, hey, that woman there, she had a nice punch.
My son, when he saw us on FaceTime, he sat there and started making fun of me. I got beat up by a girl.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, at least you didn't hit her back. But as an NYPD officer,
yes.
Did we get an ID on the perp?
When she spun me around...
I'm using the lingo there.
Yes, when she spun me around, she caught me. I immediately went down, grabbed the arm, and then I was grabbing my hat back. I didn't get a good look at her. I was hit a second time, and I can't tell who hit me. And then I was immediately grabbed by the bouncers. My wife did get an ID on her and gave a description to the Nashville PD, and the detectives are currently going through all the film and trying to get a positive ID on her as
So
we
you
speak.
did you know, you're a police officer. You did go report the crime, I guess,
Absolutely.
as a, you know, assault.
Yes.
Potentially. I knew some guys that were dirty fighters back in the day, like you did probably, Danny, in Staten Island. They would know they're going to jab somebody. They take the car key and put it between the finger and then hit them, pop a hole right in their cheek or something.
Or carry a roll of coins or something.
Might be something like that. But so let me ask you this: just the generals. We know this is a female.
Yes.
Is it a Caucasian female?
Yes.
Caucasian female. Age range?
My wife is believing she's somewhere in the mid-30s area, could be early 40s.
Blonde, brunette?
Brunette.
So we're looking
About
for a
5'6".
mid-30s to 40, 5'6", Caucasian female, brunette, that was in Tennessee punching people in the face with a red hat. Now, I could see, Dan, like I wear this. You put yours back on. Now, I could see where someone could make a mistake, right? This says, make America great again. And yours says, make 50 great again. So I could see from afar, we'll say, there's one of those rat Trump supporters, right? But now to punch someone, you got to get up close and close range. So when you get up close, you say, well, boy, that's not a make America great again. This is the guy's 50th birthday. I would think any sane human would think that.
Absolutely.
So do you think the red hat itself has become a representation of anyone who wears a red hat is Trump, and that's a trigger to the snowflakes?
I believe it is, and exactly what you're saying. From a distance, a lot of people read it, and whether they were on the side of Trump, and you could tell they were a Trump supporter, they were thumbs up from the second they saw it. But when they got close, and they're like, love the hat, and I'd say, well, did you read it? And then they'd read it, and they'd wish me happy birthday. On the other hand, I saw some people who I could see the disgust on them, but as they got closer, and they weren't coming closer to me for any other reason, that's the path they were traveling, they would then read it, and then they would laugh, chuckle, and wish me a happy birthday. After the incident, and the bar that I was in, the stage on Broadway, was, like I said, the security was so top-notch professional. Any one of them would have been welcomed on the NYPD, how classy they were. And when I went back in there the next day, they just asked how I was doing. I had the hat on. They didn't ask me to take it off for leave. And there was two young black women that were walking towards me that I could see their face actually get, you know, very angry. And as they got close, they are intelligent women, and they read it, and then they wished me happy birthday.
Say, oh, so, man, we thought that was Trump, but happy birthday,
and I asked them that. I said, but at first you thought it was offended, and she said, yes, we did. And I said, but why? I said, if it was the other hat, it's just offensive. And I said, but can you tell me why? She goes, it's offensive. I said, well, I thank you for not punching me. Some girl punched me. And I told her, she goes, that's unacceptable.
Right.
And then she turns around and she says that I should take it off because it's offensive. I asked her if she could tell me why. She couldn't. She went about her business. About an hour later, she's walking by again. I said goodbye to her very politely, and she goes, I really just wish you would take it off. And I said, I would have considered taking it off if you can give me one valid reason why it's offensive.
Right.
But you can't.
It's like, you know, they call it triggered these days.
They're going by talking points.
They're going to have
That's
to put
all they do.
red hat safe spaces in public spaces now. But look, you're just out to have a good time. You weren't out there to try to enrage anyone, aggravate
absolutely
anyone.
not.
You're a great American. You're a patriot. You protected our city and you protected probably people around the world. I know one of the things you do is you're in the NYPD bagpipe crew.
Yes.
And even though you're retired, you still go down there and you give your services when people want the NYPD bagpipe guys. So you're still doing stuff for your community. Do you think Do you think this is a hate crime? Like it's a hate?
I do believe it is, yes. I believe that I was singled out by this individual for, you know, the mere fact that she interpreted me as being a Trump supporter.
All right, so I'm going to keep following us up on this. The only thing I could say is, you know, maybe we should start a hashtag or something, don't hate the hat. Like, you know, it's the hat means you support your president. That doesn't mean you need to be hated, and you certainly don't need to be punched in the face, if you ask me. So, Danny, one of the things I hear is, and you know, the beauty of the news cycle these days, social media friends to say, hey, let's get this story out here. From what I hear, you're going to be joining the bingo crew on Sunday with Sean down at the Kettle Black.
Yes, I've been there a couple of times, yes.
So, you know what? If you want to show your support for America, we're going to put it on our social media. You go check it out. I'm going to be down there standing with my friend here, Danny Sprague, and we're going to be celebrating America. We're going to be celebrating our right to wear red hats. Red hats that don't say "Make America Great Again" should be okay and not deserve a punch in the face. But I want to thank you very much, my friend, for telling your story. I'm going to keep telling the story because a few months ago, there were people getting thrown out of restaurants and bars because they were triggering people. Now it seems that it's got to the point where it's just okay to punch people in the face. And if someone was standing there in a Bernie Sanders hat, okay, and a guy with a MAGA hat came over and popped him in the face, I have a feeling the whole American Civil Liberties Union and everyone else would be out there with a federal action against them for a hate crime. So you don't seem like the guy that wants to blow this up into a bigger and bigger thing.
It's an individual.
But I appreciate you creating awareness, but it is the mindset of a lot of individuals right now.
Yes.
And we don't want this to continue where people think it's okay to go punch people in the face with red hats, because the red hat manufacturers of America will go out of business. It will cost us a lot of jobs.
No.
Well, thank you. Keep up the good work, my friend. God bless you for all you do for us, and
thank you.
You've done in the past keeping us safe. God bless you for being tuned into Liquid Lunch, but don't go anywhere. We're going to come back right after this, and we're going to do what we do the best. Every single day, we're going to mix it up. Democrat, Republican, thoughtful conversation right after this.